What is up, guys? This is Sir Awesome Media here, and today I am bringing you a review of Rising Storm. Rising Storm is an expansion pack for Red Orchestra 2, Heroes of Stalingrad. It is a fabulous DLC content, and I definitely recommend getting it. It's standalone, so you don't need Red Orchestra 2 to play this game. Oh my gosh. I mean, I liked Red Orchestra in the beginning, but this makes me love it even better. I just love having the M1 Garand in this game, because that is my all-time favorite rifle, and always will be. It's my favorite rifle to shoot stuff with and do typical guy things with. It's amazing. So, I really like the immersion in this game, and I'm not going to do it in this video, but in the next video I will actually just put up raw footage to show you, and I encourage you to turn up your volume, and it especially sounds good if you have surround sound. And the immersion in this game is unbelievable. I mean, I felt like I was actually in battle at some points. The Japanese bonsai charges are actually pretty intimidating, in a way. I mean, obviously I'm not scared of it in real life, but I can easily see why this was very intense for the American soldiers who actually fought in the Pacific War. I love it. It's a great add-on, and I definitely recommend getting it. If you have Red Orchestra 2 Heroes of Stalingrad, it is about $12, so it's a pretty good deal. What you're seeing here is actual me playing bots. Unfortunately, there aren't many servers that are up, and those that are pretty much full, and I was unable to get on any, mainly because my internet has been bad for the past few days because a storm cell has come through my area and knocked out my power several times. So I apologize for that. I'll try to get you multiplayer footage next time. A quick little update on where I've been. I've actually been doing finals, and I've been a little bit sick, so I may sound a little bit congested, and I apologize. But anyways, back to the game. Suppression is just like what it was in Red Orchestra 2. It was amazing, and it was very tense. One thing that I do find annoying about this is it's very buggy, and that's kind of to be expected from a beta. So keep in mind when you're getting this, this is just in beta. It's not complete yet, and you really need to keep in mind that they're working their butts off trying to get this polished and ready for everybody. The reason the graphics are toned down on this is perhaps kind of takes a toll on my performance, and I obviously need to get a new video card soon, but it seemed to run pretty smoothly in this gameplay. It didn't feel like it when I was playing it, but now that I'm watching it, it seems a little bit more smooth. I'm playing in Saipan as the US Army, obviously, and I'll actually get to some Japanese footage in a couple of minutes, and that's going to be on the island of Peleliu. All I really have to say about this game is that it's just beautiful. Right now it doesn't look so beautiful because my graphics can't process all that stuff, and obviously this is the Unreal Engine 2, so it's not like it's a CryEngine or Frostbite or whatever. One thing that is really cool about this game is, well, it's not necessarily cool, but it's definitely immersive. When your guy gets hit, you know he's hit. Obviously not because of a hit marker or your damage. Your guy actually starts to panic. He'll even black out sometimes, like you saw just there earlier. It's pretty stressful at times. The multiplayer is very tense, is what I describe it as, the few minutes that I got to play. One thing that I do not like so far is that I have not been able to play as the Allies once in the multiplayer match, because everybody immediately goes for the Allies, and I find myself unable to join the Ally team. Although I do have high respect for the Japanese team, I think it's pretty cool too. I really wanted to try out the Allies when I was getting into this game because I really wanted to give that good old Garand some testing out in the battlefield, but unfortunately I was unable to do that because everybody decided that they wanted to be an ally, and I guess the overflow goes into the Japanese team, which kind of bothers me in a way. It's kind of understandable because you're always like, oh, I'm gonna go with the good guys, you know, type deal. But I really hate it when there's games where there's such a blatant difference between the armies that there's always a team that goes towards this team and not this team. There's always an underdog team, I guess you could say. And it'd be nice if it kind of auto-selected for you, in my opinion, but that's just, I mean, that's not a real big complaint. I mean, that's probably one of the only complaints I have about matchmaking is there's not enough servers. Well, there are plenty of servers, but there's only like a maximum of 3 people in it, and there's ones that are 64, and they're full. You can't join them. But overall, I've had a great experience with this game. I've had a lot of fun with it. Sometimes I get a little frustrated at times, especially when I got beat by bots, like right here. And I think we're moving on to the Japanese right now. Yep. My favorite thing to do as the Japanese was the bonsai charge. And the reason I'm kind of looking around is I'm making sure that my game's running okay. As you can see some of the lag when I run, and I definitely apologize for that. So I kind of tried to get a feeling for my surroundings, because one thing you need to be aware of in this game is your surroundings. As stupid as that sounds, even though I'm in a video game, you really need to know where you are. And here's the amazing bonsai charge of death. And then you get to watch me miss this guy like 56 times. Yeah, I need some practice. There was one point in this game where I actually held up against a huge amount of soldiers with just that bolt action rifle. And let me tell you right now, the bonsai charge is very effective. And you'll see in a moment that it actually helps a lot. Because since you have only bolt action weapons as the Japanese, sometimes you have no choice but to resort to the bonsai charge. And especially if you really want to attack a certain point. So right here, I had no choice but to bonsai charge. And I missed the first time, but luckily he didn't stab me. I was going to bonsai charge these guys, but I kind of gave up and shot him. So, easy way out. I do like this better than the Eastern Front. I liked Red Orchestra 2, but I did not like it as much as Ostfront. I just felt like Red Orchestra 2 was a little bit more frustrating for me. I liked Ostfront much better, for some reason. I don't know why. Mainly because the Darkest Hour mod, which was a Normandy mod for Red Orchestra Ostfront, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it. And I love seeing the Americans in this game, because you do not see games like this anymore, honestly. I mean, there aren't many very realistic World War II shooters like this anymore. Unfortunately, I miss the World War II genre, honestly. And, you know, so many game series have changed over to modern aspects. Medal of Honor started off as a World War II game. Call of Duty started off as a World War II game. Battlefield started off as a World War II game. I mean, most of the franchises we know today, some of the big ones, not all of them obviously, started off as a World War II game. And, you know, I'm not saying that I don't like modern warfare in general. I do like modern warfare. I think it's very interesting. But I kind of miss World War II. The simplicity of how their warfare was. Obviously, they weren't running around with laser dot sights and silencers and well, they did have extended ammo mags. I'll give them that. But, you know, there wasn't as much variety in World War II as there is nowadays. And I don't think even in real war today, they don't, I mean, when you get promoted, they don't say, congratulations, you have earned the infrared scope. Obviously, they don't do that. Whatever role you have is what gun you get, basically. If they say, okay, you're going to be a squad machine gunner, if you're in the American Army, you're probably going to get a M249 saw. So that's kind of how it is. And I love World War II games. I've always loved the war period. It's fascinated me. I love the Pacific. It was a fantastic series, and this is what I tried to relate to. I'm like, this is like I'm in the Pacific. Here's the almighty katana, and it is amazing to bonsai charge with because it is fun. And bonsai charging actually reduces how much stamina you burn up when you sprint. And I really wanted to get this guy, and he got shot. But nevertheless, I decided to hit him instead, just to make sure he was dead, guys. So I try to bonsai charge some other people, like this guy right here, and then I got shot. Had to bandage myself and get the heck out of there. And I got shot again, right in the groin. So I had to bandage myself again using my one last bandage. And I was being shot at. I didn't really know where, so I decided to make a break for it. But yes, guys, overall, this game really deserves more attention, and I really highly definitely I can't speak today. I highly recommend it. It's amazing. Okay, it's awesome, and I'm going to put a Sir Awesome's Herald up on the 31st, giving y'all some more news about what's to come. I can give you one news flash thing. I do have an outro for my channel now, which I've been working on for a while, and I think it looks pretty nice. It's obviously a starting outro, so don't expect it to be amazing or anything, but it's still pretty good, and I think that it's suitable for where we are now. Another thing is, I have posted my last video on Onyxware's channel, which was my Neverwinter first impressions. You may have seen it on my channel, but it's also on his, so I definitely recommend checking it out on his channel and seeing what he's doing over there, because it's pretty interesting stuff. But anyways, back to this game. I just miss World War II. I loved Band of Brothers. That was my all-time favorite series. I liked Saving Private Ryan. I liked the Pacific. I loved all the World War II games. I remember one of the first, in fact, the first-person shooter that I really enjoyed was Medal of Honor Allied Assault. It was on my dad's computer, and I could not stop playing it. Although I was terrible at it, he had to help me beat the levels, and he's not much of a gamer in the first place. So, I mean, but still. And then I moved on to Call of Duty because we found it at Target, probably. And we got Target, and then it went from there. I don't know why the market has moved away from World War II. Maybe it's because Call of Duty obviously took the Modern Warfare aspect by storm. Although they weren't the first game to feature Modern Warfare, they were definitely one of the biggest ones. I know Counter-Strike and Battlefield both had modern era wars in it, but once Call of Duty brought it to the table, it really sparked an interest in games in the modern era of warfare. And you know, I feel like World War II, it's had a lot of attention, but it kind of needs more, because these guys went through a lot. Obviously, this wasn't a very, it was a very brutal war, especially this front. The Japanese were relentless, and the conditions that our boys were under were unimaginable. And I know this really ties in with Memorial Day, and I hope that this really speaks to y'all who have been in service, or have had ones who were in service. Obviously, you know, I'm playing this game, and I'm not playing it necessarily to get kills, although it easily seems like that, and I can understand that. I'm playing, most of the games I play is for immersion. I could care less at the end of the game how much kills I get. I really care about what experience I have, and that's why I'm drawn to games like this. Call of Duty, yes, I love, and the only reason I get Call of Duty, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, is because my friends have it. Because that's usually what we play together. It's just very convenient to set up. That's the only real reason I get a Call of Duty every year. I mean, I don't know, Ghosts may actually get my attention, but for probably since Modern Warfare 3, I haven't been very interested in the Call of Duty titles. I'm like, okay, it's great, but I want to see something different. And as I'm watching this, there's a little bit of lag on my video, and I'm hoping that it's just the editor processing it. But if it is not, I sincerely apologize about that. And oh, it's back to normal now. Anyways, I play the game for the experience, and this game really makes you think in a way. It's like, okay, people actually went through this, and obviously the combat was so much more intense than this. This is a very slow-paced game, so if you're used to very fast-paced games, even like Battlefield, this is not going to be a game for you. This is a game about patience and trial and error, basically. And if you get shot, you're dead. That's the end of the story. We're pretty close to dead. I mean, nothing else happens. You don't regenerate health magically like we do in other games. You die. I mean, that's as simple as it is. I just miss these type of games. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and expanding Knight's Kingdom, and I will see you later. Adios, guys.